In this video, we continue examination of Bonnie Parker's hard drive using WinHex forensic tool. And this is our laboratory exercise, b40 NTFS file system overview using this specific hard drive. And as we talk about the data structures available on our NTFS partition, let's also open NTFS handout to correlate those concepts with what we can identify in this forensic image. In WinHex, file open and load the image. And of course, you can verify MD5 by using tools, compute hash. I'm going to skip this step right now and proceed directly to specialist, interpret image file as disk. This information, of course, is available from the partition table, and our first partition, which is NTFS partition, is located at physical sector 63. Next, we can try this quick shortcut to partition 1, boot sector template, which shows all the parameters for this file system right here, and the sectors per cluster. The answer is 4. So we have basically 4 sectors with respect to the cluster size. And then which data structure provides the NTFS cluster size? Of course, this is the boot sector. So we can say NTFS boot sector, also known as volume boot record. The next series of questions are specific to this file directory. So let's open this partition. We can double click in this directory view, documents and settings, Bonnie, my documents, pictures, and car wish list, and I think the last one is AC Cobra. So right here is the file that we can now try to examine. So I'll resize this view. And by default, in the directory view, we have size in kilobytes, created, modified, and access times for this file, as well as DOS attributes, and the location of the first sector. If you click on the details panel, it scrolls down, and if you click again, it scrolls back up. So we can actually try to resize this to avoid these attempts to scroll up and down. It's a little easier to work this way. We can also resize this panel like this to allow most of the information to be visible. So you can make these adjustments. And also in the view menu, you can turn on and off additional display items like this data interpreter. So that's similar to data interpreter in FTK Imager. You can also try to right click and switch position. So switch position actually shifts the details panel to the right hand side. So you can, whichever way you like to do your work. Sometimes some of the information here and down here is shown in hexadecimal format, or if you want to switch to a decimal format, all you need to do is click in this offset area. So this is hexadecimal offsets of all these bytes relative to the beginning of partition 1, or if you click again, it switches over to a decimal display. Right, so you can see it right here changing, and right here. So this changes here in terms of the format that you're showing. And to provide the answer to this next question, of course, we need to dig into information that is stored in file metadata, which on TFS, it's all coming from master file table, MFT, and each file has a record inside MFT, and we can examine that information. Also, the directory browser view in WinHex, you can right click and say position, and here's possibility to list all clusters that are allocated to this file. So if I click list clusters, this is like a floating panel right here, and it tells me which clusters belong to this specific file. So I can scroll all the way down, and you can see that the total number of clusters is 28. Cluster 1 is located in one fragment. So this file is not fragmented, it's just a sequence of adjacent clusters, and the total is 28. So I'll just give this answer right here, 28.